cannot solve a problem unless you diagnose it correctly. And the persistent refusal to accept a Jewish state in any boundaries, and not the boundary, and not the territory, and not the settlements, is what is holding up peace. These are issues that can be negotiated and can be resolved, but you cannot resolve, you cannot arrive at a peace agreement when somebody says, I don't recognize your existence and never will, and will use the territory that you give me, not for peace. I will use the land you give me, not for peace, but not to build a state, but to destroy your state. My argument is that the Palestinian-Israeli conflict has always been about a state, not a Palestinian state, which the Palestinians refused to accept time and again. 1937, in the Peel Commission, 1947, the partition. It's always been about the Jewish state. And once that obstacle is overcome, you are in a different world, in a world of peace.
But just on, before we go to the next question, isn't Israel changing as well? We had yesterday morning on the BBC Today program, you probably know Tzipi Hotovely, who's Deputy Foreign Minister, deputizes to you as Foreign Minister. She's a member of the Likud party.
What did she say?
She said, the land is ours, all of it. This is Judea and Samaria. You know, it's not a case of two states or even somebody else being governed. Yeah? It's ours. And it was very clear. Now, this is a young 38-year-old cabinet member from your party. So how does that square?
You should come to the Likud and find out. Well, I think that the crucial question that I was asked, and I won't talk about the intricacies of our politics, but
it's more the mood, it's not the politics. Is the mood that, you know...
I'll tell you what the mood is. I'll tell you where most Israelis are. I gave a speech the other day in the Knesset, in the Rabin Memorial, and I said, I think that, contrary to what people think, I think there's actually a very broad area of consensus. And if I had to sort of put my finger on it, it really almost harkens back to Rabin's last speech 4 weeks before he was assassinated in the Knesset. His last speech in the Knesset, and he said the Palestinians, should have the ability to govern themselves and so on, but he said less than a state. And I don't want to get quibble into these definitions of what it is or not, but what is a state or not. But I think there's almost universal consensus about the principle that I enunciated here, namely that the one power that Israel definitely keeps is a security power. Then he said the Jordan Valley would be Israel's eastern security border.